Welcome to Rhinos and Aliens.
Lack of communication, not just from one person, but from everybody. I don't feel like it's just two people either. I feel like this is a collective. I don't have like any beef or animosity or feel any type of way towards anyone, literally. It was business. I feel like I fell out with y'all business-wise. I never fell out with y'all as my friends. I feel like I know how to separate the two, but I also know how to love at a distance. So that's it. That's why when you call, I'm not hard to reach. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I just feel like we just all worked a lot. We all had different schedules. Some of us prioritized.
You worked a lot.
I was under the impression that we all worked a lot.
Well, we all worked full-time jobs, but we weren't putting in
as many hours as me, but that didn't, I'm not gonna.
Respect. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
We all had full-time jobs, so.
We all worked. We all worked.
Schedules.
And some of us felt like that full-time job or whatever we were doing was a lot. We all felt like we were doing a lot. Hell yeah, I was working way more than y'all.
And they should appreciate it because the better you, technically, theoretically, the
they
better.
Do. Even when I feel like my clients might give me a hard time in my chair, maybe deciding on what they want or anything, I normally don't have discrepancies with my clients. I just try to come to an understanding. Customers always right anyways, And then
Sadly.
Good business is good business. And if I don't feel like this is good business, I don't have to service them again. It's not the end of the world for me.
Yeah, you look at it like a one-night stand. If it doesn't go well, okay.
By the grace of God, I don't have too many one-night stands. But back to us, I just feel like, yeah, we all had different schedules. And I honestly don't feel like, personally, I was being understood at the time. And whether I was being understood then, as long as, it's understood now. Because, we all...
Well, to be fair, unbiasedly speaking, no matter what, we were still both in the wrong. I understand you a lot more given your circumstances. But how have you been? It's going on a year now.
Francis called me a bitch. He didn't think I was going to say nothing back.
Well, to be fair, in that moment, you can judge how you were acting.
That's the gist of it. You feel me? I was being bitchy, but he let me know. And it's not... what you said is how you said it also.
Because at that point, you were giving me tone.
So...
You were giving me sass.
I'm not calling you... No. He had me fucked up. I'm going to take accountability for being a bitch. But don't call me out for being a bitch.
I didn't call you a bitch. I said you're acting like one. Which is even...
I didn't say you did. I said don't call me out.
I know, but just to clarify.
I was clear.
I wasn't understanding what time really meant, how precious it was, especially for your situation when you were putting 60-hour weeks in. So every 30 minutes matters to you. Have no problem waiting an extra half an hour for us to set up. And over a course of months, consistently doing that, that's precious time that you might have needed to do other stuff. I'm not saying I'm completely in the blame, but I definitely was not professional from that perspective.
I fuck with that. That's cool.
Okay. And then I went through a personal situation which made me really realize I could have handled it better, or at least saw a better perspective.
Me telling you what you could have done better doesn't change anything if you know what you did wrong. Like, better, you do better. Me telling you what you could have done doesn't change. It doesn't change anything.
But it's feedback.
But do you really need it?
No. I respect that.
Right. Like.
And you don't need, how the situation happened, right?
Shit, yeah. Do you need to hear it? Do you need reassurance? I don't.
No, I don't. I just want to make sure you know what we both I want to make sure we both know what we did wrong.
See, you want to make sure that I know that I had you fucked up.
Yeah.
I asked you if you needed some reassurance. Like,
No. I meant, like, you know how, if that situation happened again, you would have handled yourself differently, too.
That situation won't happen again.
Because you would handle yourself differently. And it won't even get to that point because I'm going to handle this situation differently.
There we go. That's my boy.
So how have you been since that moment?
Good, great. I mean, I had my little ups and downs. You know, everybody had their stuff. COVID, we obviously still dealt with. The new year, surviving 2020. Every day is, even my bad days are better. Only because honestly, like, I take everything and I keep it. Like,
Do you feel better physically and mentally?
physically, I feel great. Mentally, I feel strong. Spiritually, I feel grounded. Yeah.
I like that.
Emotionally, I feel stable. I feel content.
Wow, you just hit the 4 pillars right there. I like that. I didn't even have to ask you the 4 pillars. You're like, bam, I already know this shit.
Yeah, I feel loved through and through. Like,
Do you have better friends now who actually care?
we still have I still live my normal ass life. I still go through my fucked up shit. I still have my fucked up friends who do weird shit sometimes, but people will be people. And that's the thing about it. Everything I have isn't gonna be peaches and cream. Like, hurt people, and unfortunately I have some friends who done some fucked up shit. You know, we just go through little shit and have to, you know, friends have to go through experiences themselves to understand how someone else might feel. And I only just learn from them, love them from a distance, or continue to deal with them. That's
Yeah, you can't change a person as much as we want to believe that.
And sometimes you can't necessarily hold things over a person. If you know who a person is before they do something to you, then that's kind of on you because you knew that about that person beforehand, you know. But when, I don't know, I feel like some people just do shit and then they don't know that it's wrong until,
You're talking about, like, let's say you have a friend who isn't aware of their surroundings, right? Meaning that they might not always put you as a priority. And then when they consistently do that, you can't be mad at them because that's who they are. You either take it or you leave it.
Yeah, that's a great example, actually. As far as my friends are concerned, my friendships are great. I feel like I'm grounded there too. I feel like I have, you know, my friends are still the same. I have maybe a few new friends. I go through little shit with my friends, but it's probably just them understanding, like, I might not have time, or me understanding, like, that they might be forgetting that, you know, I have something going on where I might need their support, considering they got kids or some shit like that. Because I was having a health concern. And they were like, oh, yeah, I don't want you to go with anyone. I'm going to go with you, blah, blah, blah. And they didn't come. And they didn't ask me how things went. They didn't check on me after. And
It's
so,
almost like fake support where, like, somebody, you know, like the birthday thing?
yeah, but I wouldn't call them a fake person to me because I would hope that their love for me is genuine. Like, mine is for them.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, I don't like that. And they're like, oh, well, what about me? And what about when this happened and you weren't here? Blah, blah, blah. But those things are not, one, relevant to the situation. Two, are not truthful into the context that you're saying them. You know, like, I can't be places that I'm not prohibited to be because of COVID. You know, like in the hospital or something as a visitor.
True.
Or maybe I didn't know because you didn't tell me. Like, so these are conversations we had to have back and forth with each other. And I'm like, you know, why is it that we're going back and forth instead of you just taking accountability and just understanding, you know, where I'm coming from as a friend? But again, that doesn't make them a fucked up person overall or a fucked up friend. And I will hope that doesn't make them like fake or no shit like that. I still try and give people the benefit of the doubt because
Theoretically.
hurt people. And she's going through her own shit. And she just wants to, feel hurt. So I'm the victim, not you right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I apologized, but I'm going through this, but I have this, It's always kind of like that. And so I just...
Understanding.
Yeah, I just limit what I tell people. I limit what I expect from people. And even when people extend themselves, I still don't expect what they extend. Daddy issues.
Well, psychologically speaking, that's where... It's quite funny if you think about it. On average, most women who have hoe-like tendencies, they don't have a strong male presence.
Oh, No.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying.
I was about to say.
No. I'm saying as an example, like when a woman doesn't have a man around. If you statistically look at it, if you had to bet on any reason why,
she typically wants a man more than I already.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm definitely a hopeless romantic, but there's nothing wrong with that shit. Pretty Woman is my favorite movie. I just like I like the storyline. I like the romance behind it. It's a story. Like, I don't see that actually happening. I know that there might be a guy who like loves a stripper or a hooker or a prostitute and puts her on. I know that does happen, but it's not something that happens every day. And I love the love story, and I don't know.
It is authentic because there are authentic women who are put in tough situations and
very much so, and have men that stand behind them and stuff like that. Like the movie.
You like the movie because of the hopeless romantic aspect.
Mm-hmm. I literally watch it from the woman's perspective every time I watch it.
Watch it from the guys, the man's.
I still have my goals, but I was doing it wrong. I had so many goals, but I wasn't putting towards... Like, I wasn't putting my finances towards specific goals. I was just trying to stack and save. I had to actually set my goals, budget my finances, and put them into where I wanted to save. And so it's like I don't have to work as much as I'm working if I just,
If you budget your money better.
Exactly. That came with learning how to drive. And y'all know I don't drive. And your girl is almost a licensed driver.
Which I'm proud.
So, yeah, I just...
Because initially it's going to cost you more money, but over the long term...
It's going to help me make money and be consistent. I don't have time to wait and be late for rides and miss appointments. And next thing I know, I'm paying $35 for an Uber because they're surging and I'm only going 8 minutes away. And then my client is upset because my Uber canceled and now they're 16 minutes away and they're outside and they got an Uber and it's raining. No one wants to deal with that. Like,
you're in charge now.
It doesn't matter if I booked my Uber at 11 and this happened and it inconvenienced us so, late or put us 40 minutes behind. I'm in charge. I want to be able to be in control. If anything happens, I want it to be because I'm calling AAA. I'd rather be in control of my own life than keep letting people get me in car accidents.
I'm so seeing you right now, physically, mentally. I could even feel it a little bit spiritually. I see the growth.
Thanks. I love you, friend.
I love you too, X.
Manifest that things will change. The people in your life that'll help you be or reach your success the way you want to will be the people that you did not know.
Yeah, but the sad part is, X, I have nobody like that in my life, so I can't. Legit, I'm to the point where the only person I rely on is my mom. Like, right now, she's I view her as like my wife. Like, she's my ride or die right now. I know 100% we're on the same path financially. We're on the same path in terms of how we want our life. She's the only person I can rely on. Because I've noticed a lot of people talk about they want this good life, they want that, yet they waste so much money on shit they don't need. And when I say don't need, I mean, why are you spending $100+ for one night out to get fucked up? But you're also at the same time complaining you don't have any money saved. I'm like you said, you take people for who they are. I can't change a person. And sadly, just like with my love life, I can't find anybody who is the type of person who's really going to help me grow. So if that's the case, I'm just going to take everything as it is. It is what it is. That's one of the 3 sayings I live by now. It is what it is. I'm not going to complain about something I can't change. People just talk to talk now. When every word I say to you, I want every word to actually mean something, or it pushes something along.
That's how I feel. That's why I stop myself a lot of the times when I'm talking to, you know what I'm saying? Because people don't listen. It's like, what are you going to actually listen to what I'm about to tell you? Before in our podcast, we used to record for hours because we had so much to say. But how much of it are people actually listening to? And that's the fucked up part. But what I did learn is there are different ways to say what you need to say and have it be so impactful in so many lesser words.
Resources.
When I tell you I got so good at that, I'll just ask you a question and have you answer it yourself. Like earlier. Do you remember when we
Yes.
do shit like that to people, Francis? These people gonna be fucked up. They're gonna have to do nothing but to respect you and hear what the fuck you're saying, because what are you saying? Even if they don't agree with it, what you're saying isn't wrong because it's how you feel. That's your opinion and you should be heard. Ignorance is not always bliss. Ignorance sometimes is making you look stupider than a motherfucker, okay? Like, if you don't know, ask. You know what I'm saying? If you're not sure, don't make an ass out of yourself.
Kamala Harris is supposedly black, yet when she was brought in as a senator, they emphasized her Indian background. But now when it's convenient to be black, they don't say shit about her Indian background. They emphasize her black. And race is such a... They use it, however...
She just went to a third world country and told them not to come to America.
But
we're not about to talk about politics.
I know, real quick though, this is why I miss you, because you're not even political, yet you know more stuff about politics than people who claim to be political. That's the sad part.
You know what's crazy? I learned that like an hour and a half ago.
Well, it's pretty recent. But you know what's so funny about that statement? They were running on the, like, before they became president and vice president.
She just told 300,000 people not to come to her.
But before, she was saying the borders are open. When they were running for election, they were saying everybody come in. But now when they're actually in power, they're saying don't come in. It's all lies. Words don't mean anything anymore. So just so you know, when I actually use the word love, I mean that.
Oh, I know.
That's why I stopped saying bro to people, because bro is a simple version of brother. I only consider a few people brother. So stop calling me bro. I'm not your fucking bro. I'm your... Am I even your homie? I don't think so. Call me bruh, if anything.
I heard that hot shit.
Right? If every girl came up to you and saying, "What up, sis?" Like
you ain't my sister.
Yo, I want a Catholic.
You gonna
woman.
make me get Kimmy on the phone?
I want a Catholic woman. I'm not saying I want a fully devoted Catholic woman, but I want a woman who knows Catholic values, who respects Catholic values.
So, do you respect religion because you respect the values that they have, that they want their women to uphold or adhere to, or do you respect religion because you have faith in religion or a religion?
I'm still not religious. I just, theoretically speaking, religion, just like law itself, is supposed to be for the best of humans. It just, because humans are corrupt, everything turns into corruption. So when a woman can actually pinpoint the values of religion or anything.
So why Catholic? We'll talk about all different types of religions and you dating different women of different religious backgrounds. But for you to say that, that's a lot of growth. Especially considering the fact that, like, that's why I said, let me get Kimmy on the phone because, yeah, you bring up religion and it's like, oh, get that out of here.
Well, to be fair, just the way my mind works, at least right now in this moment, I can never say I will ever devote myself to religion because I think I have my personal opinions about why it even started.
But why would, I mean, religion is just
It's a faith.
you could have a woman who's not religious and she's just spiritual and she knows how to be grounded. And, she know her morals, her values, and whatever the case may be.
I'm emphasizing religion because now when a woman says she's spiritual, she's progressive.
You mean like earthy and like chakra-y?
Just like she believes in like the feminist movement where
I don't know that many feminists.
you think that. For the longest time I thought I wanted a quote unquote independent woman. I thought I wanted a quote unquote woman who's in charge fully of her life. Like she wants to be
Bullshit. You thought that you wanted that? You should have told me that a long time ago. Oh, baby.
That's what my mom said too. But the point is, I want a woman who actually wants to be with a man who's going to be a man. I want a woman who actually wants kids. I want a woman who actually wants to be a mother.
Can I tell you something? Don't ever forget this. If that's what you want, great. Go for that. But that bitch better know that home come motherfucking first. If you out there getting to that bag, taking care of her, letting her be a woman, letting her be a mother, she better be at home motherfucking baking like Susie Susie motherfucking homemaker. That bitch better be sucking dick dry and washing clothes and motherfucking taking care of kids, because you don't sign up to be with a nigga and have him taking care of everything and you being under him and not being able to provide at home. Them bitches in the 50s was ironing all goddamn day.
But you know what's so crazy is that women, I'm so glad you brought that up. Women now view those women as inferior when I would make the case
because women want to get their money and keep their money and be bosses, and they want a nigga to take care of them. That's what that's what social media is showing women. So that's what women think that they want. But these women that are on these social platforms that people are looking up to, like Ari and all those other people, or the city girls even, them bitches is taking care of their baby dads. Them bitches are licks. Them bitches are financially providing, securing them, and so they're doing the same back. We just don't see what they do for them because they're not going to tell the public. They want to make it seem like a nigga is only doing for them and that, they're independent on their own and they got a nigga to provide for them, and giving you the wrong image, and then bitches like hold on to that shit.
Because they're selling out, because that's what the higher powers want them to do.
Yep.
I don't think it's necessarily bad. If a man can't provide for both, and you supposedly want that, then don't complain when he is putting the hours in, or make sure you're doing your shit at home. Yeah,
because you know what I'm saying? You can't expect him to be the provider and you're not providing at home, because then you want to wonder why he's outside looking for somebody else to please him or appease him, because you're coming home or he's coming home from work and you're nagging him, you know what I'm saying, for shit that you can honestly handle or don't even have to really worry about, and that you could just brush under, considering the fact that he's honestly taking care of the family, financially out here working. Give him some free time to be a man so that he doesn't have to step out. The problem is us women learn how to be women from women. And then us women learn what it is to, or what it means for a man to be a man from women also.
Yeah, but that's a problem.
That's the problem.
A lot of women in society now, they look at Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion as their idols. When you're only listening to music that's always talking about sex, that mentally does something to you. When you're only reading articles talking about how the woman should be on the same level, if not higher, in a relationship, economically or whatever, and to expect that the home life doesn't alter because of that, that's just not true. Like, how are you supposed to raise kids if both people And then, by the way, if the father wants to be the at-home parent, I'm not against that. But I'm saying everything is so individualistic now that it's all about me, me, me. And I've come to respect the housewife now to where, do you know how much sacrifice that is? Especially if
Yeah, hell yeah. Especially, there's so many women who I know that are my clients who are just now going to school because their kids are older, who are just now doing, because their men went to school, they worked, and of course they enjoyed their lives being housewives and they had their vacations, but they didn't get to do what they wanted to do for themselves. And that can be faulted on their end as far as their timing and then deciding when to have kids and when to start their lives and stuff like that. But realistically, do we all do things at the appropriate time? No.
But it's learning from
your experiences. I've learned to let men teach me what it means for a man to be a good man. I listen to what my mom tells me, what it means when a man isn't being a good man, or what signs to watch out for. But I let the men I experience in my life, my friends, my brothers, my uncles, my situations, I let them teach me.
the pros and cons.
They're men. They are either going to be good or bad people in their lives. And being a good man, a woman can't tell another woman what it means for a man to be a good man. So I'm just going to learn from these experiences with them. They're going to
because they're not men.
Like, yeah, literally because women are not men. And so that's why I take so much of what my mom tells me as far as the woman's role is concerned, or what to be careful and what to watch out for, so I don't put myself in harmful situations, but so that I allow myself to give the man time to grow, to change, to fault, to fix, to do whatever.
We're animals at the end of the day. If you watch the animal kingdom, the males act a certain way, the females act a certain way. I'm not saying that's 100%. I'm just saying
even female lioness, they be fucking acting crazy sometimes too, like acting controlling and shit.
But they're bad. But this is the thing: female lions, they're the hunters, but they're the hunters because the males take so much energy to hunt. So the females are more efficient, which I would make the case female humans are more efficient than male humans. But at the end of the day,
that's probably a fact. Because I don't want to be a housewife. Like, I still want to work alongside my man, and I still want to be a soccer mom.
But as long as...
And be home making dinner by the time you get off.
But X, what did you always say? No matter what, the man is still going to be the one who has power in the relationship, you know? The man is still going to know, like, okay, at the end of the day, I'm going to make the plans more often than not. I'm going to make sure I treat her the way she should be treated. We've gotten into this mindset of equality so much that we want to believe everybody is equal in every aspect, when that's just not the truth. And I go back to sports. Sports is such a perfect analogy for life.
Did you see what Bruce Jenner did? Oh my God. I'm like, I know Francis read about that. I know he saw that. He's running for governor.
Oh, yeah, in Cali.
But he made a statement.
About, yes. But
Bruce was senator?
No, Bruce.
Caitlyn Jenner.
For governor.
Oh, governor.
Yeah, governor.
Caitlyn for well, I can't even close my hand, guys. Look at my nails.
Is everybody like Kobe Bryant? No. So how can we say equality? Is the best female NBA player even comparable to one of the worst NBA players? No. So why, when we're in relationships, we act like it's even? It's not even. We need to respect each other evenly, but the power dynamics aren't even.
I agree.
A man has more power in certain situations. A woman has more power in others.
You know what I do also think? We would be fucked up right now if we had a man on here who liked for his woman to be in charge.
No, but that's the problem that's going on. You don't want those power dynamics. Now, I'm not saying
there are men like that.
And there are women like that too. But that's not the average natural balance. Because I'm telling you right now, if the entire planet had men that wanted the women to be in control, just naturally.
But does that not fuck us up? Does that not fuck up our opinion or our way of thinking? Because we consider it.
Women like to, on average, the mental psychology of a woman, they like to be dominated. On average, they want to be. They don't want to always be in charge. There's a reason why women eventually get sick of the yes man, the nice guy. No matter how much they care for them,
Yeah.
if they always have to make plans. And I know this personally because that ruined my first ever. Well, that ruined my longest relationship. We ended up getting too comfortable, and I stopped taking charge outside of sex. Like in sex, obviously I was still doing my thing, but outside of sex, I got too comfortable. But I was young as hell. I was inexperienced, and the reason why we clicked so well because I was being my natural self in terms of I was actually making shit happen. And when you get too comfortable, you stop growing. You stop, from my perspective, being a man taking control. No matter what a woman says, that subconsciously starts to creep in. And think about it. Think about all the men where the relationships ended poorly. I put a major factor was either they didn't take you seriously and they didn't show you enough time, or because they took your time for granted.
Overly genuine sometimes. Like overly giving, like overly everything.
Well, you're naturally a giving person.
Yes.
So when you're genuine. But men take advantage of that.
Yeah, because men automatically assume, oh, she's doing that because she wants to be my girl, blah, blah, blah. Next thing I know.
Or she's easy.
And then they get comfortable, and then the respect goes down. But it's like, I haven't changed my expectations for us. I haven't changed expectations for our situation, our boundaries, where we're going, what we're doing, how I see you as a man. So if I'm just consistently being my natural self, but why would you?
To be fair, I would say those men are just naturally users too. Like, for example, if you found a guy like me, if he hasn't grown to where I'm at now, he might take advantage of that. But if you pointed it out and still wanted a relationship, he would correct himself. Most men nowadays, even if you point that out, they don't care.
It's either you can let people know where they faulted you or where they wronged you or where you feel like you need to hold them accountable or anything. And it's up to them to decide whether they want to change. And it's up to you to decide if you want to
grow.
Yeah.
Well, I got in a debate.
Grow. Instead of change, grow.
Yeah.
Shit, flowers can wilt, so... and the leaves can sprout back up.
No, that's a fact.
It's up to you if you want to continue to deal with that person, considering their growth or not.
Your only responsibility is to point out what they're doing wrong. It's up to them.
Yeah, to decide whether they're going to grow, but it's up to you to decide whether them growing is enough for you.
True.
Or not. Yeah.
But when we're talking about relationships, it's all communication and compromise.
It is communication and compromise, and sometimes people don't want to compromise, or sometimes people reach their ends where they've compromised and now they see your growth and it's really there, it's genuinely there, but it's too late.
I respect that, but if a person actually loves you, it's never too late.
I don't agree. If a person genuinely loves you and you're finally growing, they have to love themselves too.
Oh, okay.
A person has to love themselves first and more before they can truly love the next person.
Yeah, but if they love themselves and then they see you growing.
If they love themselves and see you growing, that doesn't mean that just because they love themselves and you that they have to conform. Because this is time that they've spent. Who's to say that your leaves won't wilt? Say you've changed, say you've grown. Who's to say that you won't resort back to your old ways?
Then you didn't grow.
But when can you determine if someone has grown?
Their actions.
Their actions. Cool. I have people in my life who have literally done 360s. and then completely resorted to the people they used to be.
So they didn't grow.
But how would I have known that? If
You-
their actions showed me, if 100% their actions have showed me.
Then you only saw their actions that they wanted you to see.
Okay, but you cannot control all the actions that people show you. You know, or you can't control all the actions that people do, because what about the actions they don't show you, Francis?
Well, to go off of that example, let's say you broke up with somebody because they cheated with you. Then they proved that that's not going to happen again, and it's good for a year. Theoretically, you can only go with what you know. So you're back with that person. But if they cheat again, then you know everything they were saying and everything they were doing beforehand was not growth. It was a lie.
But what if you love them so much that you rather you not feel hurt? Okay, what if they haven't cheated, but they've already done something? So your trust has to be rebuilt.
I agree.
It takes one thing so small to put you in a course of months to years worth of rebuilding. Just a split second decision can change. Yeah, can make or break something completely.
Are we talking about?
I think that my point is this. I think you can genuinely love somebody and genuinely love yourself and not be with them just because they have grown or changed. Because you could have loved yourself and learned yourself with them and with their errors. And by the time they have changed, you have learned that there are other things that you want, or that they taught you that who they are, or who you've been waiting for them to grow into is what you wanted then, but no longer what you want now.
I see what you're saying, but for me, if I love somebody, I look for two things now. Very simple. Growth and truth.
Once you collect those two things, I feel like, as your friend, honestly, you'll find two more things that you'll want.
Well, there's always...
And it'll...
Like, I don't want an ugly bitch, obviously, but
I don't mean those things. I mean, like, really, like, internal, like, intimate things and relationships where you wouldn't where you wouldn't just automatically think about off rip, like, mental understanding level.
Well,
like
that, but that's assumed in a relationship. I'm saying when it comes to the... Like, let's say we're a house, right? The foundation is a person who's willing and will grow, and a person who seeks out truth. If you don't have those two things, then everything else doesn't matter, because I can't build my house. Of course, I want a specific house, but if I don't have the foundation, what's the point of even looking for the specifics? Of course, in a perfect world, we could find our dream person. Mm-hmm. But right now, at this point, if I could just get the foundation, it feels like you can't even find the foundation. At this point, I already know the likelihood of getting my dream house is out of the question. I just want a foundation. You would be surprised how many people don't seek truth and how many people don't want to truly grow. And when I say truly grow, I mean they are willing to physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally grow. Many people, even when a fact is thrown at them and it's 100%, 2 plus 2 is 4, they will still tell you 2 plus 2 is 5.
I have exes in my life that I genuinely love.
I do too.
And I love myself. I see their growth.
I do too.
They don't have a chance.
I see that.
So boom. That's my point. You can genuinely love yourself and genuinely love the next person, but what a person has already put you through, will you continue to allow yourself to deal with those things? But the only way to be sure that you won't continuously deal with those things is if you remove the root of those problems or where they came from.
So it's the history then.
It'll always be the history. I don't learn these things. I don't learn these things from relationships. I learn these from my family members.
Oh,
like this is not their relationships, our personal relationships. hurting family members, loving from a distance, being good to yourself, loving yourself first, them loving you and themselves, then you thinking they've grown and changed, and then you putting yourself in a situation with them again and you being like, what the hell was those actions, because you just completely did another 360 in time, all that.
You know where most of my knowledge comes from? The experience of others. I really don't experience stuff, so I could either be ignorant.
That's why I'm speaking so strongly on that, because for whatever reason I want to let this topic go, and I can't, because I really know. And I feel like if I sat down, because we don't have like personal conversations about like, you know, real shit, like but you'd be like,
well, to agree with you on this point, I don't believe in second chances. I believe in a relationship. For example, the one person I've loved, right? The first person I loved. As much as I would want it to work out, I don't believe in second chances. I believe stuff happens for a reason.
Yeah.
I believe, as fucked up as the world is, sometimes you meet the right people at the wrong time, and you can never undo meeting them at the wrong time.
I don't ever feel like there's a wrong time anymore. I feel like everything literally happens at its own time, and I don't ever know why or understand that shit or fuck with that shit until way after.
But when I say wrong time, I mean if you would have met that person whatever time period later.
Yeah, like things would have been sweet, things would have been perfect. But I just know that, like, I'm so...
Pick any person you've loved, right? If you met them at a certain period in time, when you were more mature or when they were, right? It's just reality. Things would have been different. For better, or it might have even been worse. Who knows?
That's a fact.
I'm just saying, even though this entire time it seems like I'm disagreeing with you, I want you to know I don't
I don't feel like you're disagreeing with me. I just feel like we're having a conversation about learning people and about the time and the change. And I'm listening to you.
I'm listening to you too.
Uh-huh.
I like what you're saying.
Thanks. Vice versa.
Thank you.
Just a friendly reminder, guys. Hit the subscribe button in this corner. And then for the newest video. Then for the most recommended. And then for our famous dick pic.